A lot of good work today. We started our early schedule a couple weeks earlier than we have in the past. This is typically how we would practice during the season when school's in session, and just felt like we didn't want to wait. And so we're out here early and get some off their feet a little earlier and give them a chance to get a good breakfast in them, and then we'll come back and meet this afternoon. But it's been good work so far.
So how have you seen Josh kind of react in practice to last week?
I've seen an increased sense of urgency in just the way that he's approached everything, which is what we were hoping to see. I've seen it really throughout the whole team.
Are you eager to kind of see what he does in the game?
Yeah, I always am, though, but I really want to see if we can take, the lessons we learned last week and apply them on Saturday night.
He seemed to be really comfortable late in the game in the shotgun and the kind of the comeback mode of the offense. Would you consider doing more of that just throughout the game, or
Well, we did quite a bit throughout the game. I mean, we were in shotgun more than we were under center in the game. So, we'll continue to do both.
Do you think there's an element that Josh has been out of the shotgun and the spread like most of his life from, say, John Bosco, and then the first year that he was here, that he might be a little bit more comfortable with it?
No, I don't. I think that's completely overrated to think that there's any difference between taking a snap under center and the shotgun and spread. Quarterback's quarterback. He'll tell you reads are reads, routes are routes.
Are there guys you'd like to see more incorporated, like maybe Nate, yes, he was big in training camp, but didn't seem to get a lot of targets in the game, and Ish.
We're going to work Caleb Wilson more at the tight end position in place of Nate. Nate's probably going to see a little less time. So we were really excited about Caleb Wilson, so we're going to give him more time.
Is that just based on performance?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is there some updates on personnel? Nate Starks?
No updates on anybody. No, I mean, everyone's that's practice can practice, and there'll be some game time decisions on Saturday, just like always.
What would Nate need to do to get the green light?
I'd have to decide to play him.
How impressive was Bolu in there?
Excuse me?
Bolu.
Yeah, Bolu, he had that really nice run on 3rd and short that he popped through, and then he had the touchdown run. I didn't realize that was his first touchdown. Put his hand down and bounced into the end zone. That was pretty impressive. And the thing that you don't really see, it doesn't show up in the stats, is the way he blocked. He did a nice job of blocking. So it's good to see him play the way he's playing.
See, when this whole thing started, did you anticipate that type of role for him? That he would play that much or play?
Yeah.
More?
Oh yeah. I mean, we'll use all those guys. We're going to use at some point in the season, all 5 backs will play. Jalen Starks and Brandon Stevens. I mean, they're all good players. Nate and Bolu and Soso, obviously. So we've got 5, good running backs and 2 good fullbacks. So hopefully Cameron Griffin can be back this week. We'll see, where he is on Saturday. So we'll make the right decision for him. And the same with Dion. We'll make the right decision with Dion.
Is there a plan for PK going forward as far as when you might hope to get him back?
Yeah, there is a plan. Absolutely.
You say what it is.
Was Cam out at practice today?
Who?
Cam Griffin?
Yeah.
He was out full practice?
Yeah.
One of the big things with the 2 tight ends is how well, when you went to more tight end kind of looks, is how well they would block. How do you think they did in that aspect in the first game?
They did well. And a guy that we never even mentioned his name, and he's this guy. He's been he's played center, he's played guard, he's played fullback. Now he's playing tight end is Gio Chintosi, and we're going to use him more as well because he's a really good blocker. He's trained as an offensive lineman, and he does some really good things blocking. I don't know if you guys noticed, but we also had a number of formations in the game where we had extra offensive linemen in at tight end. So we'll continue to do that as well. You always want to try to utilize your personnel. You want to create roles for players so that they feel involved. It's impossible to get everybody in every game. It just is. You'd love to, but it's just hard to do. Like you asked about Theo the other day. You just can't. You can't get everybody in every game. But creating roles for guys so that they feel like they're actively participating and producing and helping us win. That's important for us to do.
Were there some available scholarships, and did some walk-ons get granted?
Not yet. No, there are available, but they have not been granted yet. One of the I guess benefits of being a quarter school is there's a couple. Number one, we get a lot of practice time without school in session, and then number two, it gives us a chance to continue to evaluate those guys before we award those scholarships, but we will certainly award them. And there are some very deserving guys. I wish we had a handful more that we could give out. I'm partial to get walk-ons, guys that pay their own way to school, and they come out here and they fight and they kick and they scratch every day and they give their best. And they have a great attitude, and you'd love to reward them all, but unfortunately you can't. So hopefully you pick the right guys.
You mentioned Caleb Wilson. What stood out to you about him for him to earn more playing time?
It's kind of been a cumulative thing all year. Not all year, all season, all camp. He catches the ball consistently. He consistently does the right thing. He's a big target with long arms. And I just see him really developing and gaining confidence. And you need to be able to depend on guys to do the right thing on every single play. There has to be an element of dependability so that your quarterback has confidence. And I believe that Josh has that confidence in Caleb, and we want to get him more time. We think he's worthy of it.
People talk about when you play a tough game in the over, you learn something that you wouldn't learn if you played a team that would be pretty easily. We talked the other day about the heart, the fight, the character. What else did you learn about it?
Well, we're resilient, like you said. I sensed that all along, really through spring. I sensed that type of attitude on our team. I think when you play a game like that, it reinforces to you how important every single play is. And if you look at a game in its entirety, it can be overwhelming. And so we just talk about breaking the game down to 4 to 6 second segments, and just really doing your job in those 4 to 6 segments, and 4 to 6 second segments. And I think a game like that just reinforces how important every single play is. And you never know when the critical play is going to occur, and so you have to live in that moment. I think we've learned that from that game, and I think it made an impression on him, and I've seen it in practice so far. So hopefully, we grow from that.
Just details. Details and taking care
Well,
of it.
yeah, just being able to maintain a focus, an intensity level for that long, and not let your mind wander. And it's not easy to do, but it's something you have to train yourself to do, and we're trying to train ourselves to do that.
What'd you see from Jacob Tuioti-Marin in that first game?
I like him. I think it's a kind of a blessing and a curse is that he's so flexible and so versatile that your tendency at times is to move him around, which is not fair to the young man. So we're trying to settle him into a spot or two, but I see a guy that plays hard. I'm really glad that we have him. I'm glad the thing with his appendix, worked out the way that it did. It was scary for a while. There's no guarantee that it won't come back. But I think he is very athletic. He can bend. He plays with good leverage and his hand placement, and then he can play multiple positions. And to have a guy like that is valuable. We just, like I said, have to make sure we don't stress him out by having him play too many positions.
Might he get more time? He looked good at defensive end. Might he settle in there?
Yeah, but he can play some defensive tackle as well. But yeah, he's going to play more defensive end this week. With Tack, unlikely to play, and Dion still questionable. Tack is, a guy that we feel extremely comfortable having in there. And I'm sorry, Jacob. I'm sorry, Jacob is a guy we feel extremely comfortable having in there, and he's just very consistent. He's becoming a really, really good football player.